Good evening, guys. This is Damon from Vintage X Collectibles, and I bring to you the brand new Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Leader Class version of Shockwave. Okay, so on my channel, I have already stopped showing off the packaging in my toy reviews. You can go and see that for yourselves in the stores, right? You're coming here for a review of the toy specifically. But I would like to first point something out. Yes, that is some very cool artwork of Shockwave on the side. Now with the new design of these packages, I think all they're trying to do is disguise and hide the fact that they are making the Transformers smaller. Looking around here to the back, and yes, this leader class of Shockwave is a Voyager scale. I guess they're trying to say for the extra accessories, the extra plastic makes him equivalent to a leader class. And yes, the same gimmick goes for Ultra Magnus. But here's the thing. Voyagers are $25. Leader classes are $50. So they got you paying double for just a little bit more accessories that they throw in there. So you paid an extra $25 just for his little hoverboard. Yay! Alright guys, so I'm going to put aside this being a Voyager package as a leader class and still give you a fair review. I think they picked an excellent color of purple, and I believe that is something you would appreciate more in person. And I like the fact that they tried to break up the colors with adding a touch of lighter purple to his hand and weapon. They did his thighs in a gray, and then we have some silver on his ears, feet, and the side of his legs. I've dimmed my lighting so we can now check out his light piping. So I have my little handy laser pen here, and let's check it out. Oh yeah, that comes through really well. And I wish his chest also lit up, but I do have a second function on this pin of a blue light, and that looks pretty good. This kind of reminds me of scenes from Cybertron with all of the blue lighting everywhere. And let's turn on the brights for a better look at the detail in his head sculpt, chest, and I also love the fact that they added a Decepticon logo on both of his forearms. Shockwave's backpack folds away very smoothly, and there is really no excess kibble visible at any angle. It packs away very sleek, and I don't think it interferes with his physique at any angle. Now, as for posability, I like that he can kind of tilt his head down like he's looking down at his opponents, and I think that's important for a lot of big bad guys, a tower over their enemy, intimidating them. And also, this is a big plus for Transformers. He has waist rotation. How about that? So let's get him in a cool pose here. Kind of position his weapon up in the air like he's ready to strike down an Autobot. Let's put this arm at his hip. And oh, another thing for posability, he can rotate at his thigh area, and we have a ankle pivot. So let's kind of ankle this leg pointing forward. And alright, there we go. My camera may be a little high, but you get the picture. And then we can put him on his hoverboard, and yeah, he's going to look all kinds of badass. And thank you, Hasbro, for not adding those stupid ratchets in his legs. They just go out. When they put ratchets on the legs, you'll always get this like bow-legged look. Or if you want to bring him in, he's like all close together, like, oh, I gotta go pee. Now, one more thing about Shockwave in his robot mode. As you notice, he has one fist, and then on the other arm, he has his plasma rifle. Well, if you can get your hands on a second fist, look to the inside of his wrist here. You can take a tiny screwdriver, unscrew that, remove the weapon, and then give him a second hand. Now, I am not saying go to Walmart, buy a Shockwave, take off one of the hands, and then return it. Do not be that guy. Now, if you find one loose on eBay, you know, spare parts, go ahead. But please, please don't do that. I just wanted to point out in my video that it could be done. And another thing to point out, I mean, for $50, they could have gave you a second hand. I mean, hey, come on, guys. And now real quick, let's check out Shockwave's accessories. So here are his big blaster feet that just plug in underneath. And they're not very thick. I mean, they only add maybe half an inch to them. Still by no means a leader class. And then there is his shoulder blasters. And again, see right there, they just kind of plug in to the side of his shoulder. And it gives him more of his little plasma blaster that's already on his hand. Now he has one fist and 3 plasma blasters. Okay. As for the third item, it's just some big like jetpack kind of thing that you put on him. So you separate it there, and this, you want to position it where these little pieces point outward, and this just kind of sets on top like so. And then seeing in here, again, we are plugging stuff in. There you go, just to show you what it looks like. And yes, there is this here, but it just sets on top. The sides is what you want to plug in to his backpack. And then down here, if you want, you can plug these together, but the directions just kind of have them out to the side like that, kind of like a skirt. I don't really care for this mode, but if I was to go with it, I would do something a little different. You can rotate these pieces, and I'll kind of angle that up. See, and now it looks kind of like he has some extra guns pointing forward that he is utilizing in an attack. But like I said, I really don't care for this, you know, Dr. Octopus Shockwave mode. So, you know, let's go ahead and pull all this junk off. And now for what I think is his better mode, the hoverboard mode. And the directions do not show you how to put this together, but it's fairly simple. Plus, you can look to the illustration on the back as an example. So you can see you start off with this part. So let's plug this in here. And these gun parts, they actually go underneath. And then, as you see here, the platform area is these 2 big old clunky feet. So they plug in together in the back like that. Now, you want to come around here, these silver tips, you want to slide those in underneath the purple. And then you come under here, and then you can clearly see what hose you're supposed to align them and plug them into. And there you have the bottom. As for his shoulder cannons, you can see on the artwork, this gun is facing forward. So this comes over here, you accordion up, and look closely. There's a little tab here that tabs into that hole right there. And when you pull it up, you do hear a click. Same thing here. Bring the little blaster forward, accordion it forward, and click. And these go right on the side, a little weapon port hose, and bada bing bada boom, we now have hoverboard of death. Let's take a closer look at this thing. Again, excellent job on the paint and detailing. Let's focus in on the front. That looks really good. You know what? I wish this came with batteries and all this lit up. That would be really cool. And a little brushing here. That looks like actual weathered down metal. Excellent job there. And then come around to the back. It just gets kind of hollowed out. I wish maybe they put some thrusters here, you know. Maybe the back of these are supposed to be thrusters, but, you know, you needed something here. But, oh well. And here is Shockwave on his hoverboard of death and destruction, and he looks great. You can plug in both feet if you want, but I like to leave one out for more posability. So I wonder how cool he will look now with light piping. Oh man, yeah, this right here. This is my thumbnail. Okay, so this Shockwave may be a bit pricey, but just to help yourself sleep better at night, just tell yourself this, that this was a masterpiece transformer. Hey, why not? Why not? And one more thing about accessories, you can purchase these little mini cons just for their blaster effects. There is a third with like a swooshing effect of a sword, but I didn't really care for that one. I really like these blaster effects that come with these two. So we have here these blaster effects that come with fire drive. And then we have, this one's really cool. I like this blaster effect. You just get one. And this comes with a blowpipe. What the hell? Oh man. Okay, who comes up with the names for these things? Was this a real Transformer? Oh man. And it's a Decepticon? Can you imagine Megatron? Starscream, where's my blowpipe? Get me my blowpipe! Oh man. And it appears that you can turn the Minicons into a weapon themselves, but I think I'd rather add the blaster effects directly to the weapon that comes with the Transformer. And I just think that this blaster effect here would go best with Shockwave's weapon. So there we have that. As for comparisons, here is the leader class of Shockwave compared to a deluxe class. And here is the leader class of Shockwave compared to a Voyager class. Okay. Gosh, I don't remember that Dark of the Moon Shockwave being so wide. And lastly, here he is compared with the ConstructBots Shockwave. If you're wondering, they were like a Human Alliance and Ultra class scale size. I really miss those two lines. I did have one more comparison to show you, but I can't find it. I have the Transformers Prime Voyager Shockwave, which is a really cool one, but I seem to misplace it. And how about a few extra comparisons? Let's check out how Shockwave looks with some other characters from the War for Cybertron Siege toy line. So here he is with the two deluxes in Wave 1 that I am getting, both Hound and Sideswipe. And here is the leader class of Shockwave matched up with the two Voyagers of Wave 1. Okay. Well, they do look nice together. And by the way, I do plan on doing reviews on all of these guys. And now let's bring in everyone for a group photo. Hey, no fighting. And they all look spectacular together. This is definitely going to go down as one of the all-time favorite toy lines of mine from the Transformers universe. And now, time for transformation. here we have Shockwave in his Cybertronian submarine mode. And he does look pretty nice. I like the little eye up top here. And yes, light piping is available. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this in his robot mode, but he is loaded with weapon portholes all throughout his body. So you can definitely take advantage of that in both robot and alt mode. One more thing about his alt mode, he can be a Cybertronian submarine, or you can just flip it around, and there we go. We got his gun. How about that? Just like the Masterpiece version. And I will put a picture of that up on screen. So, hey, hats off to Hasbro for making this happen. I am so glad that they have teamed up with Takara and all that they've been able to accomplish together. Another thing about his weapon portholes, you can close this little bit up underneath, exposing another one. And I'm going to take his weapon from the Cybertron Deluxe and just plug that in there, just to give you an idea of some other things you can do with it. Alright, so Shockwave is pretty cool in his alt mode, but he's about to get just a little cooler. So here are the bonus pieces that we made his hoverboard with. And again, we're going to plug these in on the sides like that. Come up here, bring these pieces together, and they peg in together here and on each side of the body. There's that side, and there's that side. Make sure everything's flush together. And now we're finally utilizing these guns. They are on top in his Super Siege Cybertron submarine mode. As for the rest of the gear, have these shoulder cannons in this position, and they will plug in the rear here in these peg holes. And then, as for these big clunky feet, you want to flatten out a little fin to the side, and then that plugs in on the side of that shoulder cannon, just like so. And now he goes from some type of Cybertronian submarine to some kind of warship of death from the above. Wow, look at that. Now I think we can definitely argue that he is a leader class scale. That looks pretty good. So I guess this makes Shockwave a triple changer, from a Cybertronian submarine siege cannon to a Cybertronian attack jet. What do you guys think? Okay, so I'm loving this Shockwave. I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up and say that this is an excellent alternative than buying the more expensive Masterpiece Shockwave. And if I could just add one thing, and I have my little blue pin here, would be that they could have added some lights so we could light up his chest and illuminate the front here. I think that would have been a really cool feature. And one more thing about his accessories. So here are our little blaster effects, and you can put it over the weapon as intended. That looks okay. And I was wondering if this could work. Now, it's a little difficult because the hole is like the same size, but you know, if you're patient and twist it a little, you can just get it in there. And check that out. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool too, huh? And for comparisons, here is Shockwave with that Cybertron Deluxe. And this may have been a fairly small toy, but it is very nice in both robot and alt mode. And here is Shockwave with that Darker Than Moon Voyager. And see, now Here, he's starting to look like an actual leader class, so it's totally up to you if you think the extra parts are worth it. But like I said, I think this is a great, cheaper alternative for the more expensive Masterpiece. And finally, here he is with the ConstructBots Shockwave. And he is a really cool looking Cybertronian jet. You know, I really think the ConstructBots were a very unappreciated toy line. Well, that wraps up my video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. And remember, in times of turmoil, ask yourself, what would Professor Charles Xavier do?